Today, among the top sectoral loser is Nifty Auto. Nifty Auto, clearly, obviously, those auto numbers don't seem to be quite exciting, Shrishti. And whether you look at whether it's an Eicher Motor today, Ashok Leyland, M&M, all TVS Motors, all of them are seeing a very, very sharp fall. These are just some of the top names that I'm reading which are down more than 2%. So auto surely is going to be our focus area today as well, and understanding that as well. So firstly, how are those numbers like, right?
So Winnie, we highlighted this for our viewers as well yesterday when the numbers started trickling in, and even today a big disappointment coming in on majorly all the segments. The only shining star this particular month or the previous month was the commercial vehicle segment, wherein the sales were actually better than what we were expecting, but a big disappointment coming in from the tractor sales, two-wheeler sales even, as well as some of the auto passenger vehicle names also disappointed. So on the back of that, we are seeing all these auto majors trickling down. But talking about the stock specific action, first of all, from the two-wheeler space, let's have a look at how TVS Motors number were, because on a month-on-month basis, we are seeing that 17% decline coming in on TVS Motors. The company clocked in a number close to 3 lakhs of units. That actually a decline on a sequential basis, but this is in line to what we were expecting. But nevertheless, we actually highlighted for our viewers that this could be an exception for TVS Motors this time around. A major disappointment coming in from Eicher Motors Royal Enfield as well, because our expectation was around 76,000 of units. The company clocked in 63,000 of units for the month gone by, and that's a decline of 21%. I don't believe that any of the brokerage firms were also working with this particular number. So major disappointment on this front. While for Bajaj Auto, there was a decline of 19% sequentially, but numbers were largely in line. So that's about the two-wheeler segment. Tractors, like both the numbers came in yesterday, so almost 40 to 45% decline on a month-on-month basis is what we have seen for M&M as well as Escorts, and even the commentary is not that optimistic. So we are seeing Escorts as well as M&M drifting lower even today as well. From the commercial vehicle segment, definitely a segment to watch out for, because for Eicher Motors VECV, there was a sales jump of 55%. Tata Motors commercial vehicle sales up 22%, while for Ashok Leyland, a bit of a profit booking, I believe, is what we are seeing, because the numbers were almost in line to our expectation, marginally better, and a 16% jump on that front. From the two, and lastly, from the passenger vehicle segment, we have seen a decline on a sequential basis as well. For Maruti, it was a decline of 16%. M&M Automotive disappointed with a 15% fall, and Tata Motors sales were largely in line, but there was too a decline of 5%. So broadly, we can say that it was not a great set for the December sales data, but the good part for passenger vehicle at least is that the companies could actually get off their inventories that were kept for the month of December, and going ahead that they are taking some price hikes as well. So that is something that we will be looking out for.
Absolutely, Shrishti. So just in a roundup, CVs was something that did well.
Yeah.
That came in as a surprise.
Yeah.
PVs wasn't that exciting, but price hikes is something that we should look forward to over there.
Yes.
But let's carry on this discussion with our experts for today, and let's bring on board Kunal Bothra as well as Rajesh Agarwal, who are joining in with us this morning on ET Now. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining in with us this morning on ET Now. It's always a pleasure having you all on the show. And autos, that's what we want to discuss today. Kunal, I'm going to come to you. You know, when you look at it, obviously, 1 year, last 12-month performance, surely in terms of a stock move, has been very great, even when you look at the Nifty Auto or individual stocks name in the index as well. But today, all other stocks in the Nifty Auto Index are trading in the red as of now. Numbers have not been great, like Shrishti was pointing out. But in terms of charts, anything's looking attractive, or, you know, would you look and buy at any of these stocks right now, given that we're seeing a fall coming in?
Good morning. So I think Tata Motors remains to be the favorite from the auto pack, but when I look at the rest of the other pack, it's not that many of the stocks are actually finding some greater degree of momentum. I think except for the likes of Bajaj Auto, which has done exceptionally well, above 6,000 plus mark, 6,400, 500, the last I'd seen for the stock. So I think other than that, there's not been too much of a very recent fervor for many of these auto stocks. In fact, Maruti, for example, has been one of the laggards in terms of price performance with respect to the other peers. M&M also, I think, somewhere closer to 1,700 is finding a lot of obstacle or resistances for itself. So maybe I think the space requires a lot more consolidation from here on. So wouldn't be surprised that for the next couple of months, we may actually see a broad-based consolidation coming out for the auto pack. But I think in that consolidation, if I have to pick and choose few stocks, I would probably look out for Eicher Motors. Maybe if the stock corrects back towards say 3700, 3750 odd mark, that could be a very good zone to go for a contra buy on Eicher Motors. So maybe another 100, 150 rupees from current levels. And in case if we see the likes of Tata Motors, for example, coming back towards say 730, 740 mark, that could be another stock to latch on to from a medium to long term play.
Okay, so Kunal will still be a buyer and would like to add some of these names that he just highlighted at lower levels. But Rajesh, coming to you, first of all, a very good morning to you. And what's your take on the auto sector? Because 2023 has been a great year for majorly all these auto big OEMs. But for 2024, will you still be a buyer, and any of your top recommendations at this point?
Good morning, Srishti. Good morning, Vinny. Good morning, Kunal. And first of all, a happy new year to you and your team and our viewers. And let's hope for 24,000 in 24. As far as auto is concerned, yes, they have performed very well in 2023, no doubt on that. We have seen Tata Motors giving triple-digit returns in the last year. That was the only Nifty stock which moved up by more than 100%. So I believe that this auto performance is going to be extended in the next year too. Although, as Kunal said, that there might be some amount of consolidation because of the kind of run-up they have witnessed in the recent past. There might be some amount of consolidation, but somebody looking for a 1-year time horizon, I think there would be ample opportunities to accumulate the likes of Maruti or a Bajaj Auto, which are market leaders in their own field. Government has extended PLI scheme for auto sector for another 1 year. Yes, the numbers which came today were well below our estimates or anybody's estimates, but we should not forget that it may be just because of December seasonality. And not to forget that in November we had a lot of festivals and Diwali and all those things going on, so maybe the sales were higher in that month. Going forward, I think Maruti would be our first choice because it's one of India's largest PV car company, beneficiary of strong demand in PV segment. And not to forget that the demand is rising astronomically in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities and in rural areas. They have a very good, strong portfolio of products moving into EV. GM has taken a very great move, not only in domestic market, but also in international markets like Latin America, Middle East, and Africa. Valuation is trading at 20-21 times FY26 P. So I think it's on a very sweet spot, and by any chance it goes below to 9,800, 9,500. It would be a very good point to accumulate the stock for a long-term horizon. And in two-wheelers, we would like Bajaj Auto. Domestic sales are good. International sales are good. They have a good product profile. New launches are there. There has been a blip this month, but I think going forward, this stock can give good returns.
Okay, those are the picks also coming in from Rajesh on the auto sector as well. And, obviously we are keeping an eye out on those names. But on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. Viewers, don't go anywhere.